this showcase. I will call the series Leatherlocked, and basically it's my character, this character you're seeing right there, basically leveling skinning and leatherworking in all of the World of Warcraft expansions. We started in the classic era or vanilla, and we're doing the Cataclysm era right now. And the goal is to get everything in the leatherworking and skinning category, means everything to max level, means all recipes. And this is just a character showcase to see what I'm working with, how I'm working. You see my gear is quite, I would say, low, especially for my level. I'm level 43. And my stuff is for the 20s to 30s. But the catch here is I'm not doing any quests. I'm just killing mobs, I'm skinning. Sometimes there's an elite close that I can farm or kill, but I can only equip things I craft or drop, so the gear is quite limited. Let's opt out of here and see what's going on. We have a quick character showcase. You can pause the video and read it. That's just like the roleplay backstory kind of thing I pictured for this character, trying to fit in the world, trying to fit in the lore. And the idea is that I will not be doing any videos of like let's plays or gameplay. It's more of like a little diary, and I will find a way, that's the current idea at least, to write down the adventures my character is experiencing, living through. I think that's a nice catch, something not everyone does. But we can take a quick look at the skill tree. I think it's quite basic. We have some nice combinations going on with the nibble fingers. The cost of my heal is reduced together with iron stomach and drink up me hearties. So we get nice resets after every mob kill. We have a nice symbiosis going on for Swift Slasher, which gives me additional attack speed. We have Control is King, so when I go into stealth I can start with Cheap Shot to get my attack speed going, so I don't have to dispatch early. Typically I don't like playing with more than 5 combo points, but really I'm quite limited. If I'm not skilling this in my skill tree, I don't want to do a sleight of hand or loaded dice, because I don't think Roll of Bones is that important in that kind of playstyle. So I had to get it. I don't like it because I have to replace my combo points in my UI. I don't like to fiddle around when my UI is set. But on the positive side of things, we get Blade Rush, which is a massive damage ability once a minute, and if Blade Rush is active, it's even stronger. So we made the best out of this, and I'm happy to see where it's going. Skill tree is looking kind of basic, I would say. Not that much into max damage, but more like energy rack, movement speed, kind of quality of life improvements, because I'm not fighting that strong of a mobs, I'm not raiding, I'm not doing dungeons in a group content scenario, so it's more like fluid gameplay, and this is what matters. My UI is, I would say, pretty customized. We have our bars down here, nicely hidden. This is all thanks to Enhanced QIL, the add-on. But you can see my keybinds, it's just normal stuff, 1 to 5 or 1 to 6 for my normal abilities. Q is always a short cooldown damage negation on every class. So like Paladin has this like 1 minute cooldown buff that gives damage mitigation. On Rogue it's Kidney Shot. always quick to reach.
I must get closer.
Always quick to press, so it's there for a reason. E is also like a spammable, always. For this type of rogue, it's pistol shot, because you know you proc it a lot, you shoot it a lot, and E is easier to reach than 5 or 6 or 4, so it's there for a reason too. Shift Q is always my secondary movement ability, so this would be charge for the warrior, is grappling hook for this rogue. Shift E is always a big defensive cooldown I can pop, also very easy to reach. So in this case it's blind for the rogue, 1 minute stun, can't go wrong with that. Then we have Shift 1 through 4, these are my normal damage reduction abilities on every class, every scenario. Yeah, quite simple. F is always the kick. It's just something I tend to do. It's easy to reach, it's easy to press. V is, in a normal scenario, always my AoE, but when I play Rogue, it's always Gouge. This may come from the classic side of things, but I think that's the perfect keybind for a quick Gouge. Easy to reach, easy to press, but not something you would press when you don't want it to. Y is always a quick heal, in this case Crimson Vial, and Shift Y is always the bigger heal. In this case, Rogue doesn't have that, but we have Recuperate. And this was the first time that I really had to use this ability until the late 20s, so my health gets topped off and I don't have to wait between mob kills as long. Yeah, Shift V is my second AoE, or in this case my first for Rogue. Blade Flurry makes me attack more targets at the same time. We have our R key, which is always a big offensive cooldown. Adrenaline Rush in this case, more energy rake is always good. Shift W is always my first movement ability on every class. Here it's Sprint. For Warrior it would be the Jump. G would normally be, in the Rogue scenario, Thistletea in Classic or in other specs. I don't plan on skilling it here because it almost serves no purpose. So it's Roll the Bones. I think that's the perfect key too, because you press it once every 45-40 seconds. Not that easy to reach, but also not that far that your hand is cramping after a while. And T is like almost always my racial or a big shield. If I would play Paladin, this would be my bubble, but here it's just a haymaker. I think I never used this ability, but it's nice to have. We have some classic flavor. We have the poisons right here. We have our Vanish, which is Shift, and then I don't know what the name of the key is, but it's between Tab and Escape, which is in my case Auto Run, and then Vanish if I really need to. This is like another big cooldown thing I always put on there, because it's a decision to press it. It's quite easy to reach, but you will never push it when you don't want to. So there's that. And this is just flavor stuff, the mobile banking, the Hearthstone, my leather working. It's all here. And you see that my hotbars are quite invisible. Also have a different looking one here. This is like crafter bar or gather bar, which just lets you collect and count things together. You can put it on here. We have our all the things add-on, our tracker for recipes or blueprints, classic and kata at the moment, because same continent. Why would I not want to do that? And even if my leather working classic is at 300 or 302, we still only have 19 of the optional recipes. So there's a long way to go until I can leave the zone. I'm debating if I should really do 100% here or just do all skinning to 300 and then come back, or to max, Keta it's only 77, and then come back for the recipes. That's something that's up for decision. Yeah, but as you see, it's, I would say, more of like a role-playing, questing UI. I don't think it's that good when you want to do competitive raiding, dungeons, PvP. But if you want to see the world, the enemies, the things you kill, the zones you're in, I think it's perfect. But it opens up quite a bit when I go into combat.